know the narrative after this is going to be, oh, she's always a victim and she never knows. No.
Hello everybody, how are you guys doing? I just kind of want to get this video out to you all because this is like an opinionated video, just because I have to say this, like, just so I get, like, I have to say it. I have to get it off my chest just so I can get my nerves together, child, because I have to get this out. And this is just an opinionated video, just my personal opinion on this, right? So I sat down and I really took the time. I was cleaning and stuff, but I really put it on the loudspeaker and I listened into Claudia Jordan's interview with Carlos King. And then I heard Funky Dineva's response to that, to where he was like, okay, he's glad, and that Claudia, messaged him and told him that the interview was coming. Like, hey, I did this interview. No, I did not say anything negative about you. He hadn't had the chance to actually watch the interview, but she definitely gave him a disclaimer, letting him know, it was asked about Fox Soul, and she spoke about Fox Soul. However, she never really said anything crazy to offend him, There was a lot of things being discussed, and I think I gained some perspective on Claudia, and I gained some perspective on Arman, because I've always said this in prior videos that I've watched Arman Wiggins for a very long time. I was a big fan of Arman Wiggins and Lovely T. They were have been one of my favorite YouTubers. They made me want to do YouTube and just want to do content creation as a whole, because I'm on Rumble as well. So I just kind of love them so very dearly and to my heart, But I just really wanted to speak about the interview and speak about my views ever since the interview has happened, ever since I've watched the interview, right? So I don't know, if you guys care about what I think, but hopefully you do. And if you do, this is it. When the whole roast happened, I thought that, hey, it was kind of strange that immediately after the roast, Reynolds went to Funky Dineva, and everybody was like, well, that's his friend, of course he's gonna go to Funky Dineva, it's not a big deal, blah blah blah, all of this, they're gonna go together, they're gonna hang out, they're friends. Everybody gaslit me into believing that, hey, it was harmless. However, after watching Claudia Jordan's interview with Carlos King, I gained some perspective, and I more so now than ever think that, Reynolds was playing both sides, in my opinion.
When Funky left, he left that great message. It was beautiful. I was happy, but I also was like, well, damn, come back, dude. We're so close to getting in the studio. We just did a live show in Houston. We got along so good. We were in a great place with chemistry after years of having issues, not mostly with him, but other one, right? And then there was some chatter, Al would have a conversation with me and tell me what he thought about Funky's departure and some of the things that was said. And then I think he would have a different conversation when he went back to Funky. Because then one day Funky called me and he's like, well, let me tell you something. I got a screenshot from Al Reynolds and this is what, and I was like, whoa, wait, hold up. And it wasn't, things just weren't matching up. And I feel like this is going to make it World War III again. But I just want to say, I think that's where it got ugly for me. And I wish we would just all been on the phone at the same time.
This man is the kind of person to throw rocks and hide his hands, and he's an opportunist, in my opinion. My humble opinion, I feel as though Al Reynolds is an opportunist, and he's very much so packaged very well, And this gave me some thoughts. I went back and I thought about him and his ex-wife, and they were married, and they were together for a very long time, and how he came out as bi. And when we first saw that beautiful man with that black woman, a lot of women felt as though he was gay, had some homosexual entities or things about him, right, that a lot of black women had recognized. And he was like, no, only for him to come out later on and said, I am not a gay man, I am bisexual, right? Meaning that I do have some interest in males, but I don't only, seek the male. I go for women and men, and the thing is, that in itself was very gaslighting, because you should have said that when they were accusing you of being gay. You didn't owe anybody an explanation. However, Star, the woman in which you were engaged to, was a public figure, and so her life was displayed for the public, and because of that, people had opinions, and she gave people, insight into her personal life, And so if you guys were going to be so public, because they were such a big thing then, they were everywhere. If you guys were going to be so public, I felt as though that was the time to reveal, hey, also, I used to be bisexual, I am not anymore. Just give that disclaimer and stop making everybody feel as though that they're crazy for having those thoughts about you. And, oh, why does every, black man that looks a certain, the way that I look and is as handsome as I am, am, blah, 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 is gay. That's kind of what he was given. Gaslighting the public. Like, he should have said, well, I'm not gay, I'm bisexual, so that's probably what you all are picking up. But I love this black woman. I'm in love with this black woman. I'm with this black woman and we are in relationship, So he should have said that. But he gaslit the public as if it was outlandish and that he was just a, heterosexual man and he only dated women and just that. Right? Only for us to come to find out, no, you were backbiting. You were being very weird. You do not saying that bisexual men are weird, but the fact that you were kind of acting as though we were the public wrong for putting that on you is the part that's backbiting and weird, because you are interested in males. You do like a good man from time to time. And, you date women as well. You might be going more toward a trans woman because it's the best of both worlds. However, you should, own up to who you are. Don't deny who you are. Stand in who you are. Stand in your truth. However, you gaslit the public then. And I feel as though that's what he does. He seeked that woman as an opportunity. It brought him to the forefront. He has all of these celebrity friends that he's cool with, that he has connections with, and, uses them as it's deemed fit in the situation. And I furthermore believe that after watching Claudia Jordan interview. Let me tell you guys what I believe happened on that phone call with Arman Wiggins. I believe the phone calls with Arman Wiggins revealed a lot. I believe that when Claudia said, hey, he wasn't allowed to pick up the phone call when I called, and I would call him all the time to kind of create some sort of bridge between us, and I wasn't able to get through because he wasn't allowed. I believe Reynolds told Arman Wiggins not to pick up the phone for Claudia Jordan, in my opinion.
There was some more conversations that were kind of keeping us from even speaking to each other. Like, he didn't pick up the phone when I call him because he was told not to by someone. And
while you guys were working or after?
Yeah, like I was trying to call, no, way before the roast. Like I would try to call him and be like, all right, that was a weird episode. Let me try to call him and figure this out. And he wouldn't pick up. So I'm like, how are we ever going to get a chemistry together? But later on, I found out that there was a reason he wasn't picking up. He was told not to by someone. And that just kept us at odds. And it made like the show like this. And it was them against, it was Alan and Arman kind of against me, it felt like. And it just didn't feel good. And all it took was a phone call where we finally got on the phone to talk. And like, wait, I was told this. Well, I was told that. Oh, that's not true. Oh, that's not true either. And then once we figured it all out, and I can't really say that much about that because we're still trying to save this thing here. But, people are smart.
And I believe that that's why Arman went as hard as he is. One thing about Arman, when he's wrong, but when he's right, he's goddamn right. You understand what I'm saying? Like, Arman is never, in my opinion, just doing shit for the, you have had to do something to him that he would take it personal, or you would have to backbite him. He's not a hit first person, And when I first heard the read, I felt like it was nasty and it was mean, but you have had to come at Arman a certain type of way. He will hit back, but he never hits first, So there is a way, certain things that Arman may misunderstand and may feel as though somebody took a hit at him when it wasn't necessarily a hit, and then he can go at people, misunderstanding a situation that is a piece of Arman. However, Arman is never the first person, he could have misunderstood something, but he's not the first person. So when I heard the audio, Claudia Jordan, interview with Carlos King, I was like, oh, this, like, Al Reynolds been playing everybody. He's the reason why, in my opinion, things happen between Funky Dineva, and things happened between Claudia Jordan, because he left pretty cool and everything. Because when I don't know if the girl name is Storm or the girl name is there's Storm and I call her something else, but yeah, the person that allegedly he did not want on the show
to get to fill the spot. Flame Monroe's name got brought up. I am cool with Flame Monroe and I like Flame. Funky was told about it. I even have text messages on my phone too. And he said, I think he sent me a text. We found out about it, like, oh, whoever, in the group text. Oh, whoever, that's a good idea. Okay, y'all did that. And I was like, okay. And he said it was a good idea, so he knew. But then it came off, I guess, the optics looked like it was shady because there was something with them before. I can't keep up with everyone's beefs and, like, the history. But it felt like I think it felt like something towards him, maybe, right? Al was with it, the producers were with it, and Funky was also made aware. We talked about it on a text.
That person was on the show. I don't know if it was because of that, but he seemed as though he was very, very randomly upset with Claudia. And I believe that's because Al Reynolds, and she said it in the interview, Al Reynolds was showing text messages to Funky Dineva, you know, stirring the pot, because he on the low did not like Claudia Jordan, but played nice in Claudia Jordan's face like he liked her. And I don't like a snake individual. I prefer, if you don't like me, you're very clear that you don't like me, straight to my face that you don't like me, and leave it at that. But he was playing nice with Claudia Jordan, and because he wanted that opportunity at Fox Soul, in my opinion.
Al was all for Arman when Arman was coming for me, and we was like kind of like bumping heads, and once we got along, it seemed like Al wasn't really happy. It seemed like his demeanor changed.
I just feel like I can get used for opportunities, and then like my friendship part of me can be thrown away, but while you still benefit for what I can do for you. You know? And that's happened to me several times in my life, where I'm good enough to, like, be a look for you, relationship-wise, or be intimate with, or get you to meet this producer, or put you in position, or help you sell. I've helped so many people, but then I feel like I'm worth to you what I can give you. But then where is the consideration for me as a human and as a friend or as a human? Like, I feel like I'm easily disposable to some people.
He got that opportunity at Fox Soul, and then his true colors showed that he never really liked Claudia Jordan from the beginning. Played friend with her, fake friend with her, in order to gain an opportunity, the same way he did with his ex-wife. You know, same way. He wanted to be famous. He wanted the look. So he pretended and married that black woman, and this is the same situation to where he's doing something similar to another black woman. Maybe they're not in a relationship, but they're having a work relationship. I feel like the villain in this entire situation is Al Reynolds, in my opinion.
In April 2008, she filed for divorce after 3 years of marriage. A few months later, Al told ABC News he was still wearing his wedding ring because he was still in love with Star. Despite calling his wedding the most exciting day of his life, he also said he wasn't aware of everything Star was doing to secure endorsements for their nuptials. Al tried to challenge the prenup because it left him with, quote, basically nothing. And in September 2008, he and Star reached an amicable settlement. Finally took her out on a date to a French restaurant. In October 2017, she announced their engagement. And that following month, Al popped back up with some scandalous information. In an interview with Radar Online, Al put the rumors to rest about his preference by stating, I accept myself as a bisexual man. No one was surprised, nor did anyone care.
You know, and then all of a sudden he goes on his show, and all of a sudden he's like, well, I have blood clots. I'm not saying he never had blood clots in his family. He probably did. I have had this thing going on and that thing, and now, but he made it seem as though this show and how, you know, how Arman came at him triggered something, and now he has all of these issues all of a sudden. When you've struggled with this, and this has been a situation within your family that you have had, you know, I don't like how he plays the media games, you know, and he's very calculated, and he, you know, plays nice, and he, you know, like cuddles up with, you know, the production and everybody, you know, the crew, because he has all this history with production and all these different ties, because he was with Star, who was a huge star at the time, have had, you know, Star at that time, in my opinion, was on Oprah level, in my opinion. So he has crazy connections, you know, with production, media, you know, the people behind the screen, you know, not the stars, more so the people behind the screen that do certain things. However, they did not have any type of connection to him to where they were able to put him on his own show, and he's not entertaining or polarizing enough that he could go on his own show, and they just he didn't have that. But I feel as though he used Claudia for that, and I feel like he was the one that was the problem, poisoning everybody's mind, and that's why Arman went as hard as he did at him.
I wasn't for it at first. I really wasn't. First, I feel like I wasn't told that, you know, it was like, this is your new, I feel like the decision was made without my consideration, and I felt like, well, damn, I felt a little disrespected, like, this is my baby, you know, like, I shouldn't have a say. I feel like I know what I'm doing if I put together a hit show, and then I didn't really have I used to send him messages, like, on his commentary. I already had this conversation with him, so I'm sorry I'm bringing this back up, but we had conversation. I said, I think you come a little hostile with black women sometimes.
Al Reynolds is the problem. Al Reynolds is a messy, bisexual man, not even a gay man, He's a messy bisexual man. His sexuality has absolutely nothing to do with his messiness. However, I don't like the fact that he was playing those games. And he can't say, oh, you know, if it was a woman coming at him, he would, oh, this, you know, black woman did this and I can't fight back. But because Arman leveled the playing field, you're a man and I'm a man, so let's go at it. You know, let's say what you got to say. He didn't know how to react and he didn't know how to act, you know. And Arman, like I always say, Arman, when he's wrong, but when he's right, he's goddamn right. And he can definitely misunderstand a situation at the time, but he always gives people sympathy and he always gives people like an understanding or the benefit of the doubt.
We actually started working on a relationship. We had much better on-camera chemistry, and like he just came to support a roast I was in, and he's like, I'm so glad we're in this place now because it was like uncomfortable, and it was uncomfortable for me too. And I want the show to be at least appear to be three friends or three people that like talking to each other, and like I can't wait to hear what you got to say. And friendly battle, like TJF was a place you can have debate, and we may disagree wholeheartedly and say some shady stuff, but then we can like get it together and on to the next topic and laugh again.
And I feel like Al Reynolds was the problem. Al Reynolds was running between Claudia, between Arman. This the reason why he called Funky Dineva immediately after the show, and that was telling in itself. He plays these media games and he's not a saint. He did it with his ex-wife and now he's doing it in this situation, and he's like just wrong completely for that. But I just wanted to like come here and give you guys my opinion after watching that Claudia Jordan interview and how everything was handled. It's all Al, in my opinion.
The telephone game is real. It's very easy for one little word can change the whole context of a conversation, you know?
Because the way in which he's handled things, you're being fake, you're talking mess about Claudia Jordan, but then smiling in her face, and people are coming to her and showing her things that you have said about her. And then you're playing Claudia Jordan to Funky Dineva. You're showing Claudia Jordan's text messages that's out of context to Funky Dineva in order to create issues, knowing that Funky Dineva is leaving the show. And that whole, when Funky was like, I'm mad at Claudia and Claudia this and Claudia that, all of that was because of what Al Reynolds was saying.
It was a lot of raw emotions from both of us. I did an interview. I was trying to keep it classy, but of course everyone wants to like dig and they want you to talk about this and say his name, and then it gets a little bit, you know, left, and it can be perceived as you being shady. I wasn't trying to, but like, you know, and I believe like then he put his show on the same time as us.
Al Reynolds is the one that's behind the scenes doing all of this messy stuff. And I really do believe that, you know, Claudia had to sit down with Tasha K.
I went to dinner with Tasha K and people were like, are you crazy? She was in Dallas. She'd been hitting me up a lot. Like, I feel like she was trying to reach out to kind of have some kind of a friendship. And I have lots of text messages about that. I never put our text messages out there. And she actually filled in some blanks on the text message that I didn't write. And I thought that was crazy. Do you really think I would sit there and have a conversation with her, who should I pick for the show, and ask her opinion? Why am I doing that? We're in the same space. She kind of took some liberties with what she said. It's so funny, like the F word she said I used, she used. And she said she got rid of all the F words from her team. Right? That she said. But she's trying to say that I said that. I said, I'm sick of these. I put blank with the S. Everyone knows what my words are. Motherfucking niggas. That's the words I use all the time. And I didn't want to spell that out to her, right? But she filled it, I don't know if you saw that, she showed a text message and said that I was basically saying I don't want to work with I'm sick of working with the gay boys. Yet I continue to still work in that space and have friends and relationships. And I felt like that was an attempt to get the community to like not fuck with me, to like cancel me. And we had conversations. She shared stuff with me. I shared stuff with her about working in this business, about being a black woman in this business. She was giving me a lot of intel about my co-hosts, right? That she knew. And I don't want to like put it out there and make it more messy. Mm-hmm. But like, I just hate when people are in a conversation with you and you're having a two-way conversation about things and saying off the record, or she's giving me advice or whatever it is, but then you get mad about something and then you want to like spray someone else, but you're leaving out your part and what the true context of it was.
Now, I don't know why she revealed anything to Tasha K. I feel as though she definitely told Tasha K some things. And Tasha K, you know, is the type of person who takes the little bit that you give and embellishes. So I'm sure Tasha K embellished a lot, but she gave Tasha K a rope and Tasha K hung her ass. And when I say that respectfully. You know, she should have never even took that meeting with Tasha K saying that, oh, me and my friends were going to be very careful about what we were saying. It's messy that you knew. If you had to tell your friends ahead of time, don't say this and don't say that, it's telling that you knew Tasha K was not the one to play with.
We had a conversation like, listen, I don't know her like that. I don't really trust her like that. But I'm going to like give her a chance. Like, I'm going to see how, I've never met this woman face to face, and we should. We've talked about each other enough. We've had text messages. So let's all be on our P's and Q's about not revealing like stuff. Like, let's keep it tight. And that's dinner. We had a lovely dinner. She brought a couple of her friends. I brought 3 of my friends, and we talked about very surface things. We talked about relationships a little bit. She was saying we should come to Africa, and that's where the men are. We were saying, because me and my friend said we've both been celibate and whatever. And it was playful, it was fun.
But why would you even go in that meeting and have any kind of conversation? Probably because you underestimated Tasha K. But the fact that you went to that interview or meeting or whatever, y'all had a sit down, child, with your friends and her friends, you gave her more, far more than you felt like she could go off of. And Tasha K, you just got to give her a little bit. I've seen her do it with Lovely T. I've seen her do it with Arman, in my opinion. Lovely T more so. Arman and Tasha K situation, I understand, where Arman's coming from, and I also understand where Tasha was coming from. It's a different situation. Mentor, mentee is a whole different thing. But Lovely T, that stuff, Tasha was dead ass wrong. And Lovely didn't even give her too much for her to go off of, and she went off of it. You knew who you were dealing with, so I don't feel sorry for you.
I don't own the network. Until I own the network, I don't have any say in that. I cannot dictate salaries. I cannot dictate firings. There's a time I could have had input on that, but I have none of that power now. Once James left, the landscape changed for me at Foxhole and the power there. I didn't have someone that was there, had my back, no, you brought the show to us, we're going to respect that. It was more of a handshake deal. I don't have that now. So I have nothing to do with the hiring and firing now. Nothing to do with it at all. Then I got blamed when we replaced Funky with, oh, well, I can't believe you got this person. I'm like, why am I getting blamed for everything? Why does no one say, damn, I wish I was in Claudia's circle, because Vivica, Selena, Lisa Ray, Al Reynolds, Funky Dineva, Arman, T.S. Madison, checks, 6-figure checks. And I don't need you to throw a parade for me. I don't need to be like, oh, I know, we're idolizing you. But damn it, stop blaming me for stuff I don't do. I don't own the network. I don't own the network. It's not black owned. It's catering to a black audience, but it's not black
owned. With the Tasha K situation and the whole the Jay-Z mentions and, oh, Jay-Z. I don't feel bad for you in that situation. You and Tasha going to deal with it woman to woman. But in my opinion, my humble opinion, I really feel as though Al Reynolds is the problem behind Fox Soul.
I will never do that to you. Just because you helped my life in a time where I needed it and I wanted it. That shit fucking hurts.
In my opinion. But that's just my opinion. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I love you guys so much, and bye.